I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing.
Between them, Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you can see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong.
Crawford, Canelo, I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yep.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before.
Two legends. One question. Who truly reigns supreme? When Terence "Bud" Crawford boldly declared he wanted to face Canelo Alvarez, the boxing world erupted in debate. Speed versus power. Precision versus pressure. As fight fans wonder who would come out on top in this potential mega fight, experts from around the globe weighed in with powerful insights, praise, criticism, and predictions. The outcome? A heated debate that split the boxing community. In today's video, we break down what the experts had to say, quote by quote, and dive into whether Crawford has what it takes to dethrone one of boxing's most feared champions. Welcome to Boxy Hub.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing.
Terence Crawford isn't just showing up for a payday. He believes he can beat Canelo Alvarez. When Crawford assessed himself against Canelo, he didn't mince words. He acknowledged Canelo's size and strength, but confidently pointed to his own speed, reach, and superior boxing skills. That's not arrogance. It's the mindset of a fighter who's dissected the game at every level. Crawford understands that size matters, but so does intelligence and timing. He's built his career outboxing naturally bigger men and maintaining distance with precision counters. What's more, Crawford's adaptability and switch-hitting style make him one of the hardest puzzles to solve in boxing today. When he says he has better skills, it's rooted in decades of training and a proven track record across multiple weight classes. Crawford's belief isn't unfounded. It's a challenge to those who underestimate finesse in favor of force. But the question remains, can finesse beat one of the sport's strongest punchers?
Where Canelo go? A tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
In his follow-up comments, Crawford made it clear, this isn't just about belief. It's personal. The doubt people express only ignites his fire further. He respects Canelo, calling him a great fighter, but draws a sharp line. Canelo hasn't faced anyone like him. Crawford points out how many of Canelo's opponents lacked his level of ring IQ, fluidity, and defensive prowess. From Crawford's perspective, he's been fighting uphill battles his entire career, against size, against doubt, and against the odds. And he's always come out on top. That kind of psychological fortitude is dangerous. When a fighter steps into the ring, not just to win but to prove a point, it becomes more than a match. It becomes a statement. Crawford sees a blueprint for victory, and his confidence stems from watching Canelo closely. He knows he'll get hit, but he's planning on hitting back harder, sharper, and smarter. This isn't bravado, it's war talk.
And three more divisions, two more divisions is, I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense, he has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class.
Not everyone is sold on Crawford's ability to jump weight classes and succeed, especially boxing legend Juan Manuel Marquez. Marquez recognizes Crawford's talent, praising his combinations and defense, but he's deeply concerned about the weight difference. Moving up 2 weight divisions isn't just a jump on the scale, it's a leap into a whole new style of punishment. Marquez believes that despite Crawford's incredible technique, His body simply may not be built to absorb the type of punishment a 168-pound fighter like Canelo can dish out. The message here isn't about underestimating Crawford's skills, it's about biological limits. Defense and speed might neutralize power for a while, but over 12 rounds, the toll of eating heavier punches could break even the most conditioned fighter. Arcaza's take serves as a reminder. This isn't a video game. In real life, every pound counts, and moving up could expose even the best.
Between them, Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you can see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong.
Amir Khan brings a unique perspective. He stepped into the ring with both Canelo and Crawford. His observation cuts through the speculation. Canelo was easier to hit, Crawford was not. That says a lot about the defensive capabilities of both fighters. According to Khan, while both possess power, Crawford's elusiveness made it nearly impossible to land clean shots. Canelo's known for his power, but also for absorbing punishment, a double-edged sword in this case. Khan's insight offers a glimpse into what Crawford could potentially bring into the ring. Not just speed, but the ability to frustrate a power puncher by making them miss and pay. What stood out most was Khan's acknowledgement of Crawford's underrated strength. People assume the smaller man is weaker, but Crawford, despite his frame, brings surprising physicality. Khan's first-hand account supports the narrative that Crawford might not only survive against Canelo, he might thrive.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the
Coach Joel Diaz doesn't hold back, and he doesn't believe the hype around Crawford beating Canelo. To him, the idea that Crawford can move up and outbox a man like Canelo borders on delusion. Diaz zeroes in on one of boxing's oldest truths. The bigger man has the advantage. In his eyes, size changes everything. One punch from a bigger fighter can alter the course of a fight, and that's exactly what he sees happening. Canelo has been hit by some of the hardest punches in the division, Triple G included, and he's never wilted. That kind of chin, backed by world-class power, poses a dangerous challenge to a lighter fighter like Crawford. Diaz's take is less about disrespect and more about realism. He isn't dismissing Crawford's skills, he's highlighting that sometimes physics beat tactics. No matter how sharp your jab is, it's hard to outpoint a man who only needs one shot to end your night.
pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat.
Coach Joel Diaz highlights a critical point that could define the outcome of a potential Crawford versus Canelo clash: the undeniable impact of weight and punch resistance. He argues that moving up to 168 pounds, a full 2 weight classes, is no joke, especially when facing someone like Canelo Alvarez, who's not just a seasoned champion, but a naturally bigger and physically imposing fighter. Joel points out that Canelo has already proven his ability to take massive shots from one of the sport's most feared punchers, Gennady Triple G Golovkin, and not just survive, but thrive under that kind of pressure. This, in his view, sets Canelo apart. Crawford, despite his elite skills and past experiences against bigger opponents, simply hasn't been hit by someone who carries the kind of explosive power Canelo does at 168. Diaz firmly believes that while Canelo can absorb any punch Crawford throws at him, the reverse isn't true. Crawford might crumble under Canelo's pressure and power. The coach isn't dismissing Crawford's talent or will. Instead, he's stating a sobering reality. When size and power converge at this level, even the most skilled technician can find himself in dangerous waters. This raises the deeper question: can Crawford's speed, accuracy, and ring IQ truly compensate for such a physical disadvantage? Or will the sheer force of a natural super middleweight like Canelo ultimately overpower him? According to Diaz, that's where the real danger lies for Crawford, not in being outboxed, but in getting caught by a punch he simply isn't built to take. It's a classic case of technique versus physics, and Diaz is betting that physics might just win this time.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like
Edgar Berlanga offers a balanced and insightful take on the potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that boxing remains a sport where anything can happen. Berlanga doesn't discredit either fighter. In fact, he acknowledges Crawford's greatness, labeling him a legend with an unmatched skill set and fight IQ. In Berlanga's eyes, when it comes to pure boxing ability, Crawford may actually outshine Canelo, making him a very real threat in the ring. However, he also highlights the one undeniable factor that seems to tip the scale in Canelo's favor: size. Canelo is naturally bigger, heavier, and used to carrying that weight into elite-level wars. While Crawford's boxing brilliance is well respected, Berlanga questions whether that brilliance can withstand the sheer physicality Canelo brings to the ring. Still, he refuses to count Crawford out. What's important in Berlanga's commentary is the underlying respect for the sport's unpredictability. Weight and strength matter, yes, but so do ring IQ, timing, and adaptability. Crawford, in Berlanga's opinion, has proven time and time again that he's capable of adapting, evolving, and rising above physical disadvantages. This creates a compelling narrative. While Canelo might have the natural frame and brute strength, Crawford carries the edge in terms of mental sharpness, precision, and timing. Berlanga isn't convinced that size alone wins fights. He sees Crawford as someone who could potentially use Canelo's advantages against him, turning power into overcommitment and size into vulnerability through speed and counterpunching. It's a reminder that in boxing, especially at the elite level, the smarter fighter often finds a way to win, even when the odds seem stacked physically. In Berlanga's view, this fight is a chess match, not just a brawl, and Crawford is a grandmaster.
Crawford Canelo, I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yep.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before.
Teofimo Lopez approaches the Crawford versus Canelo debate with strategic clarity, and while he leans toward Canelo, his reasoning isn't based on favoritism, it's grounded in logic. Teofimo acknowledges that Crawford may have the edge in ring IQ, a huge compliment coming from a fighter of his caliber. But even with that cerebral advantage, Teofimo believes the deciding factor is size. Crawford might outthink Canelo in the ring, but thinking can only take you so far when physical dimensions come into play. He suggests that Crawford is jumping too quickly into a higher weight class without fully understanding the risks that come with it. Teofimo doesn't question Crawford's skill, strength, or will, but rather whether his body is ready to absorb punches from a man who naturally weighs more and has consistently fought at that weight. There's a clear sense that Teofimo respects Crawford's talent, but sees his potential misstep in not testing the waters at once. That's not fear, it's a calculated boxing move Teofimo would have preferred to see. Crawford's brilliance isn't up for debate, But Teofimo believes it's not enough to override the danger that comes with moving up against a seasoned and powerful champion like Canelo. Essentially, Crawford might be biting off too much, too fast, and without preparation, even a fighter with superior ring IQ could find himself in deep trouble. It's a warning, not a dismissal. Teofimo doesn't deny that Crawford could potentially beat Canelo, but he makes it clear that if Crawford doesn't acclimate to the weight first, he might walk into a nightmare. Teofimo respects the fight, but cautions that jumping into the lion's den untested could cost even a legend dearly.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2.
So, when the bell rings and these two giants meet in the ring, we're not just witnessing another bout. We're witnessing a moment that could change the course of boxing history. Will Canelo's sheer power, size, and championship pedigree be enough to halt the rise of a man many consider the most complete boxer of our era? Or will Terence Crawford, the smaller, faster, and sharper fighter, defy the odds, dismantle the myth, and etch his name among the immortals? One thing's certain, this fight is about more than just titles. It's about legacy, skill, and proving who truly has what it takes. Whether you ride with the strength of Canelo or the slickness of Crawford, boxing fans around the world know this isn't just a fight, it's war on the highest level.
Yeah, Crawford ain't going to knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's going to land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise.
In his follow-up remarks, Michael High White doubles down, not on a knockout, but on Crawford's ability to win by decision. He doesn't see either man landing a decisive, fight-ending punch, but he does believe Crawford can outpoint Canelo over 12 rounds. This is where the narrative takes a turn from brute strength to calculated boxing acumen. Canelo is durable. He's taken punches from the likes of Gennady Golovkin and survived wars. But Michael questions whether he can land clean, damaging shots on a defensively superior and elusive Crawford. The essence of this view lies in ring craft. Michael admits Canelo is vastly better now than during the Mayweather bout, but Crawford may still have just enough of an edge, faster footwork, superior distance control, and mental composure to sneak out a win on the scorecards. He emphasizes that the difference might not be dramatic. It could be subtle, almost invisible to the untrained eye, but meaningful enough in the judge's eyes. In short, Crawford's technical sharpness could neutralize Canelo's power, leading to a victory that's not flashy, but undeniably earned. It's not about domination, it's about outsmarting, outmaneuvering, and outscoring. That's the Crawford formula Michael envisions succeeding. For more powerful breakdowns, expert analysis, and deep dives into boxing's biggest battles, subscribe now to Boxy Hub. Stay in the ring with us, where real fight talk lives.